Recording in progress.
Okay, wonderful. So what we're looking at is we are looking to finally have an action plan, and that is immediate steps that you can take and apply immediately when you come out of here to improve your website's convertibility. Any questions before I get started? Okay, great. So let's see here. So first off, let's go ahead and let's start with measuring what matters. So the first piece into that is we're looking at micro conversions and primary conversions. A primary conversion is the main goal of the website. So maybe you want somebody to request a quote, you want somebody to give you a quick phone call, or buy something or purchase something. Whatever that conversion is, that is your primary conversion. And then we're going to talk about micro conversions. A micro conversion is smaller steps that a person takes through your website to get to that point where like you can see and you're like, this person is interested in me, but they're not quite ready. So that could be going to your blog, reading some resources. It could be signing up for a newsletter. It could be downloading a PDF, watching a video, interactions to the website, going between pages where the person is generally investing their time. So like when we first came in today, to this meeting today, I said, thank you for investing your time. One of the things that's really important to understand when it comes to digital marketing is time is money. And that's pretty much everywhere. But every second that someone invests time onto your website, they're investing something that is very important and personal to them. And so these micro conversions is a way of measuring their time with you, if that makes sense. So when we look at that, we want to make sure that we're tracking both, so that this way we know where people are dropping off before they're ready to convert. So we have a couple different sections here. So first off, we have awareness. This is that early learning stage where it's, I have this problem, but I can't quite figure it out, and I'm trying to do some research to figure out what that solution might look like. And then you have consideration where at this point, you know what you're looking for. You're like, okay, I know that I need this. So maybe you're doing some shopping around, you're looking at competitors, and you're taking, is this a good fit? Can I trust this person with what I need? Are they going to deliver? Are there examples of them doing it previously? Pricing and all those little pieces when you're taking apples to apples and you're, maybe I'm going to, pick this person or pick that person. And then we get to that decision piece, and that's that high intent conversions. This person, they are ready to reach out to you. They're ready to make a purchase. They're reaching, to give you a quick phone call, request a quote, book something. At this point, they have made their decision and they're ready to take that next step and get it into your hands. So this is really what we want to focus on today, is taking the user and pushing them through these different stages. So now I'm going to ask you guys, what stages do you think your site is strongest at right now, and what stage is leaking? Does anybody want to volunteer and throw anything out there for me? Okay. So with that, what I wanted, and then I guess the next thing is if you guys could just put in like conversions that you're currently tracking and that are important to you inside the messages, and we can go ahead and look at that as well. All right. So now we're going to look at the conversion killers. 3 reasons that people don't convert. They don't get it. Clarity. If they can't answer, is it for me, in 5 seconds or less, they bounce. Clarity is who do you help? What do you do? What are the next steps? And you really want to make sure that you have all of that stuff right above the fold when they first come in, so that this way you can relate to them. And then they don't believe it. Credibility. Even if you offer a good and that people, is great and it meets those needs, if you don't have those credibility factors, there's a good chance that the person's not going to go with you and they're going to pick somebody else who does. That's why it's so important to have like, third-party validation, reviews, hey, review me, case studies, why did somebody come in here, what was the problem, what was my solution, what were the results of it, and, bringing that and concluding it with a positive user experience. And then they don't do, where's that friction? So, like if the next step feels like work or commitment, they tend to delay. Oh, they're really asking for a lot of information from me, and I'm not ready to invest that time at this point. So now it comes back to that conceptual aspect of time is money in every interaction that happens on your website. So reducing that friction, at that point, you're creating more value for them, to get to that next point inside that, in that relationship. So, maybe you want to write this down. What is most likely hurting your page right now? Is it clarity? Is it credibility? Or is it friction? And, write this down on something as a takeaway to learn and to move forward later on. Write your web page's biggest conversion killer in one line, and one change you suspect would fill it. Right? All right. So let's go ahead. Is there any questions, or would anybody like to go ahead and provide their feedback and share with me?
Rick brought up friction for his personal.
Okay. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I just think the website is very clear as what I do. The credibility, I think there can be more improvement, but it's the friction, it's the call to action. I don't think that's very clear right now.
Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead, and then when we get to the workshop, we'll open up, if it's okay with you, I'd love to open up your website and we can review it together.
With pleasure.
Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one. Okay. So this is the framework, and I love this. I've taken several courses, and it's so simple, and it's something that can be repeated over and over and over and over. And this is what we're going to focus on for the rest of this workshop, is the framework of a converting page. And at this point, I'm actually going to, Alex, would you like to go ahead and kick us off on this?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
So, are you guys hearing me fine?
Yep, I'm going to go on mute.
Perfect. Right. So when it comes to framework overview of a website, we are mainly talking about the home page, right? Because that's the first page every visitor is going to visit. And what it should do is it should answer their questions. It should let them know who you are, what you guys do. It should win their trust, and then let them have take an action. That could be booking a call with you guys, or filling up a form, whatever the call to action is based on the industry. And you have to walk through the user with the journey, right? The first section is always the hero section. That's job is to grab essentially. We will explore more on that in the next slide. But the hero section is first thing that they see on the homepage. It should be able to grab their attention. Then let them navigate your homepage, scroll down, learn more about you guys, who you are, what you've been doing, how long have you been doing this for, and then win their trust by showing them what you have done for what you have done in the past, right? Their reviews that could be in the form of text or video testimonials. And at the end, once you have won their trust, they have, answers to all of their questions, and they're ready to take an action. Then the conversion comes. So the overview or a framework of a homepage is so simple. You just need to know the persona of your customer really well, so that you know who your customer or client is, what they have in their mind when they are visiting your site, so that you can frame the homepage or the layout of the homepage accordingly and have those specific sections that's going to help the homepage to convert that visitor into a lead for your business.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. So my question for the audience is, which section do you think on your page is missing most often? Like, what are you not hitting? Is it clarity, trust value, objections, or action? Rick, I think you had noticed that you have a lot of friction going on in your website. Yep. Okay. All right. And we do, for clients that are really looking into this framework, we do offer a service. It's a one-time report where we call it the best in class, conversion rate optimization. We take national level clients that are in the same field, except for targeting at a larger level, are the best of the best. And what we do is we do an analysis of them compared to you. We build out your persona development and your storytelling. What are all those pain points, friction points, and we make sure that all of your content and your design concept lays out in touch with these, with this framework. So, all right, so let's go ahead. And then just for your personal notes, I would like you guys to do something for me. Draw 4 quick headings: clarity, trust value, objections, and action. Under each one of them, write one thing your page has and one thing that you could add for each of those different points. Okay? Great. Let's go to the next one. Okay. 5-second test. So before we do this, I would like everybody to do a test, and it's a fun one. So what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and open up your website on your screen, okay? Like, I'm gonna open up mine real quick, okay? Just take a second out, open up your website on your screen. Now, I want to see, if you have it on, but I want you to go ahead, close your eyes, turn around, and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go to your website, look at it, and I want you to instantly say, point out on your page without doing anything, what it is that you do, where do you service, and what solution do you provide? Why, your value statement. So, anybody have any issues with that, or did everybody pass this test? Anything? What did you say, Liz?
Amy. That's it.
Oh, okay, got it. All right. So that is something I do with clients all the time, and if you passed, awesome. There are a lot of people who do not pass that simple test. So with this right here, we're going to talk, I'm going to leave it over to Alex, and he can go through this section. Go ahead, Alex.
So yes, it is all about that first hero section on the home page. Jesse, can you mute? Am I going? Perfect. All right. So again, let's just explore the homepage section by section. So we're going to talk about the homepage hero section. That is the first section, as I've said, most visitors would see when they visit your homepage, and they definitely read what you have written on it. They do spend 5 to 10 seconds to read. As I said, it's a 5-second test, means it will take them 5 seconds to read what you have written on the hero section, maybe relate with the image that you have on that or a video, and then decide if they are going to scroll or not. So this specific section should grab their attention. That means it has to be designed really well, and the information it should have on it should be specifically answering to a problem that visitor might have. You might be solving multiple problems for a client, but you need to mention maybe a slogan or a tagline that helps them understand or decide, all right, so this is the company or this is the person that might help me with my problem. So let's just scroll down and read and learn more about this company or a person and decide if I'm going to hire them or not. So this section is really critical because that's the first interact of a visitor with your website, and that is going to be the decision maker for them in order to decide if they're going to scroll or not. So you have to get this one right. How you're going to get it? You want to make sure that they feel the page was built for them. As I said, that the text, the copy should be so specific about their problem. It has to be a solution-oriented tagline or I would say heading, right? It could be like, we help customers, whatever your customer is, get results, depending on what services you're offering and what your customer's persona is. And then you're going to have strong CTAs. Some businesses have forms, some businesses have call buttons. It depends on the business and niche. But yes, this is how the hero section should be structured,
Awesome.
having all these elements.
Thanks, Alex. All right, so here's some more homework. Everybody loves homework. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write your current above the fold headline, and then under it, I want you to rewrite it using "we help blank get blank through blank." Then write one primary call to action. And just think about that for your homepage. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, let's go to slide 8. Okay, so now once the clarity is handled, the next question is can I trust you? You know, there's people out there, businesses can pop out every day, and you need to be able to make sure that you answer that. They need more than just claims. They need evidence that feels relevant to their situation. Strong proof. Specific, easy to scan, and placed near the CTA, not buried on a separate page. Alex, do you want to jump in here?
Sure. So yes, that's the next thing on the page. And what I've seen people doing is, as a web developer, they do have testimonials or reviews section on their homepage, but at the bottom of the page. I don't know why. Why they want their customers to read those real reviews and testimonials about their services and companies at the end of the journey, right? You want to show them right on top, right after the fold. You want to tell them or show them or let them read what other customers like them are saying about your services or your products or yourself, or so that wins the trust instantly. And if you have video testimonials, it's going to be perfect for your business, right? So you have to win their trust, and you can only do it by showing them some social proof. And the best social proof is other people, your other customers, testimonials, reviews. You can have authority signals. That's a must-have, right? If you are associated with any type of organizations, you want to have those trust badges there, right? If your business is registered on different platforms that you might think your customers visit, right? Like a Yelp badge for a home service business or a BBB aggregated badge. You have to show all of those trust badges on your homepage on top, not at the end of the page. All these trust signals or social proof has to be on top of the page. Maybe mid of the page is fine, but they never need to be on the bottom, just above the footer. So what most people do is just show the reviews above the footer and all their trust badges in the footer. Whereas client is scrolling from top to bottom. So they need to learn more about you, and you have to win their trust at the top, not at the end.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. All right, next set of homework. I would like for you guys to list 3 proof assets you already have. Reviews, credentials, results, memberships, and what is one proof asset you would need to collect? So think about that. Wonderful. All right, let's move on. All right, qualification and clarity, objections, removing doubt. So this is where most pages lose the conversion. The visitor has questions, and instead of asking it, they leave. Objection handling isn't pushy, it's clarity. It's important to remember that. You are removing uncertainty from this way. When they're going through that, they're like, I'll give you an example. I test out software all the time, and I invest in high-end software for my clients. And as I'm testing out, I'll have like 3 different software solutions that I'm looking at, and there's a good chance that I'm not going to sign up for a trial to test it to see if it meets my needs. If I feel that I'm going to have any issues at all canceling that trial. So that's what I'm saying. It brings clarity and makes sure that if there's any friction, any hesitation, that it's there. Qualification, is it legit? Is it going to fit all of my needs? Skepticism, how long is this going to take? What is that time investment? And, that friction piece. So, Alex, go ahead and take that over. I got a little excited.
You've already explained it really well, right? So it's all about, answering their questions, and that's why I've always been saying that you have to know the persona of your own client really well. Once you know that perfectly, then you can structure your website accordingly, the homepage we're talking about, right? So you need to have those FAQs written there, not just about your company. It needs to be, tackling the questions they have in their mind, right? Not just generic questions about your industry, your specific clientele, your specific client. If they have specific questions, try to answer them all on your homepage. You have to be clear about your guarantees, your contracts. If you have a cancellation policy, everything should be in front of them, so that they can actually know, if I take an action, what's going to happen next, and are they even answering my questions? Do they even know that what type of problems I have, right? So you have to uh, remove that uncertainty and skepticism in order for them to take the next step, which is going to be the final, and to take an action on your site to convert them into a lead.
Thanks, Alex. I got a little excited there. All right. Homework time. If everybody can just take a second, write down 3 objections that the best prospects have. Is it cost, timing, trust, a good fit, process? Write all those down and then draft an FAQ that answers each one of those with about 2 to 3 sentences, and make sure that you have that in a predominant page throughout your website. Extra credit points, start customizing it for different offerings, different products. And it'll go a long way when you start addressing those qualification, quality, and friction points. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Friction removal. All right, well, again, we're looking at clarity, trust, answer objections, and then we make that next step feel simple. Alex, do you want to take this over?
Sure. So it's the last step, which is really important. It's as critical as the first one, which was the hero section, right? So you have to have the clear to understand or easy to understand CTS. Sometimes what people do on their website is they have, for the same type of action, I mean, if a button is taking them to the contact page, they'll have get in touch, contact us, uh, you know, get started. So they'll feel like that having different text on these buttons, linking them to same one page would work better. Whereas it doesn't work that way. You can maximum have 2 types of buttons that can take to the same page, but not more than that. Only 2 variations. So the CTS should be clear enough so that the visitor is reading it should understand what's going to be the next thing I'm going to see after clicking this button, right? I answer the last second hesitation, right? Pair the CTA with quick safety details, what happens after the click, how long it takes, what they'll get, and low risk terms. Here comes the process thing. You need to tell them the process, the whole process they're going to go through if they take the step 1. And it should be easy to understand. You do not need to use your industry language. You have to use simple, plain English that your visitor can understand and know, if I take the first step, what is going to be the second, and what is going to be the third and the final step. So it's all about clarity and making them feel comfortable and convinced enough so they can take that action using your CTAs.
Perfect. And then I do want to point out this secondary path. And I think this is often overlooked, but there's times where people come in and they're not quite ready to make that final decision, and having an alternative option to stay connected with them will definitely keep you in the runs later on when they have perhaps resolved any friction that's outside of your website. Things like that could be a newsletter, maybe something to download. I'm a big advocate of newsletters. Once you get those growing, they tend to convert at a very high rate. So, there's just things to consider that, even if you can't get them and that final, make sure that you have that nice little, I'll keep in touch with you and we'll connect later option. All right. So here, I got some more homework. I'd like you to write your exact primary CTA text down on a piece of paper, and then next to it, I want you to write what that reassurance line looks like to you. What should happen next? Is it time? Is it low risk? What is that reassurance messaging that you feel would reduce the friction of your website? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. And you can see here, side note, but you can see I really start getting the wrinkles in on the side from the AI. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's keep going. Quick conversion killers checklist. If you're not fixing anything else, let's go ahead and let's start here. And these are all things that you should be looking at today. Give to your web developer. If you have WordPress or Wiki or whatever, log in and look at these things. Okay? Maybe not all of them today, but pick one, maybe two, and get them started. Alex, you want to go ahead and walk through these?
Absolutely. As I said, first of all, work on your client's persona. And when it comes to the website, start building it section by section, specifically the home page, right? That's the most important page on your site. Above the fold, which we call hero section, right? You'll definitely have this presentation with you so that you can work accordingly. Above the fold, make sure that the CTS are there and they are actually talking to their problems, have social proofs on it, make sure that the clarity is there, right? And all objections are answered really well so that they are ready to take an action. And at the end, when they have taken an action, your next process is so simple for them to go through and to become your client, right? And as mentioned in the last slide, if they do not convert, let's just say that if they're not willing to take any action yet, they're not ready yet, and they are just going to, exit from your website, you want to have something to offer there. We call it exit intent pop-up that shows up that might help them download a free PDF by putting in their name and email address. As Jesse said, newsletter works really well. You can have them sign up for the newsletter. So you still have a lead. Maybe it's not ready yet, but you can warm that lead up and convert that into a client later.
Thanks, Alex. All right. So let's go ahead. So homework now. I want you to, on that same piece of paper, I'd like you to write down your 2 top killers. And then I want you to turn each one of them with one sentence into a specific fix that you'd like to handle this week. Okay, wonderful. All right. So, all right, we're going to do the live website walkthrough. And this is basically, I got 2 of you, so I don't know if you guys both would like to. I can, if you guys don't, feel shy, let me know. I can walk through a couple examples online and show you if you want me to do competitors or yours, however you guys want to do it. Who wants to go first?
I don't mind.
You don't mind? Awesome. Will you go ahead and put your domain name inside chat for me? All right. Let's take a look. Okay. So let's go through here. And Alex, do you want to go ahead? Let's take a look at it together. So we got the home page. You got your logo. Let's see here. About me. Leadership coach, life coach trainer, former elite athlete. Okay. Okay. 3 seconds or less. What do you do?
they probably go off.
Reclaim your masculine edge. Live authentically. If you're a man in midlife tired of playing roles, you never choose, you're ready to feel alive, respected, and powerful again, you're exactly where you need to be. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go around the table. Alex, what do you think he does?
It's to be honest, it's not that clear.
Okay.
I know that Rick is the one who's going to help the client, but it's still not clear. Or I would say that it's too much text or too complicated for me to understand.
Well, Rick, what do you do? Give me one sentence that says, what's your elevator pitch?
I help midlife men reclaim their edge, their influence in their life, and to be confident.
Okay, so you're an influence coach?
Yeah,
Okay, lifestyle coach?
not lifestyle. It's
Influence?
more about building presence so that when you walk in a room, you don't feel invisible. People approach you because you have that confidence.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I am your targeted audience, and I'm going to Google. What am I searching for? What am I typing in that search results?
Invisibility,
What is it?
being invisible.
Invisibility.
Yeah, not being heard when you speak.
So you feel that someone's coming in. Okay. So I think that the first thing that we need to do, I see what you're saying, is we want to get a keyword analysis going for you. And we need to figure out exactly what that word is. Do you have Google Analytics? Do you have Google Search Console installed?
I think so.
You do? Let's see here. What offers programs? Take a look here. Okay. So you have a 5-day challenge, coaching programs. There we go. This is what you need to lead off with.
Okay.
You see? Because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
So if you come into this page with this, do you think that that would confirm with the end user that you're in the right place?
I think it'll pique their interest,
Okay.
and they
And
they
this is
would
what
be
you
more.
do, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do. So that's the start of your conversion story. Is because you have two pieces of your website. So you have this blog piece, which by the way, I hate the word blog. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I tell every my client I hate the word blog. Blog is where dead content goes that was designed for SEO that nobody's ever gonna read. I hate blogs. I like resource centers. I like informational pieces. And I like help guides and things along those. And that's something that I communicate to all of my clients going forward. And that's one of the things that we work on is taking that resource center. And I think that your particular situation is super important when it comes down to that, because you're talking about coaching. And so when your user, when they're coming to you, they have a problem. It's a feeling, it's an emotional feeling. And they're like, okay, I'm lost, I need some help. Maybe it's a work where everybody's being passed up. Maybe it's a relationship status. Maybe they're just feeling stamina coming down. Whatever the case, they're not happy. They're coming to you. You have to have that persona. And then from there, you have to think to yourself, like you have right here, reclaim your energy after 45. And you need to start pushing these pieces out because this is where people are going to come in. When they come in with AI, they're going to be searching questions, and you're going to be coming up here, and that's where your resource center is, and that's during the top of the funnel, right? But when somebody's actually, they don't know what they want at this point. They have no idea what they want at this point when they're coming into that resource guide. But that's your educational stage, and you start working them down through that funnel. And when they're coming to your home page, at the point that they come to that home page, they know what they're looking for. So that's the point where you have to say, right here, offers, programs, you have to say, I'm a coach, and I offer coaching programs for midlife men, and it's tailored, it's personalized, and this is what I'm going to do. And then my primary call to action, let's talk. So when I come into here, the very first thing that I should be able to see here is what it is that you do, big and bold, 1, 2, 3, and then that value point and the friction. Alex, do you want to go ahead and take over? I just wanted to highlight the keyword piece of this, but do you want to review and keep going?
Absolutely. So what I feel what's missing is that images, right? For his clients, it has to be all emotional, and he needs to use images on the homepage of himself interacting with his clients. I don't know if we can call them patients or customers, but yes, that's what you need to have because nobody's going to read all of this. You know this, Rick. So you have to have some images up on the homepage, and it's all about you as well, right? Who's Rick? I cannot know about Rick until I click on that About Me link. Right? So you have to have a section on the homepage. They should know who Rick is. Maybe a video recording of Rick, just an introductory video where Rick is telling his clients what he does so that they don't have to read all through it. A 60 seconds video would tell them who are they going to work with. Right? Who's they going to work with? So that's really important. I would say missing images, that needs to be there, and it has to be more interactive for the clients to understand what he does.
Yep, I agree. Do you have any referrals, Google reviews, or anything along those lines, Rick?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Do you have a process for that?
To be honest, no, because I don't really deal with the website.
Okay.
But what I have been feeling is that I think the website has potential and it can be better.
Yeah. Right now it doesn't have direction. Is like my number one takeaway. Like I look up at the top, it's got a ton of great content. I mean, this is my first time looking at it, and I see the structures. It was well thought out. As far as that goes, it has a lot of potential, but I can also tell you as I'm looking at your meta tags, you see I just moved my mouse up here, has not been optimized, and you have no direction, you have no target for this. So there is a ton of work that could be done. The review process is something, even if you never touch your website, there's things you can take. Like for instance, you have a signature at the bottom of your emails. Leave a review, Google review. Put that link right there. You talk to somebody, you get them, and you've delivered, and they feel comfortable with you. Hey, that's wonderful. I'm looking for some reviews. Can you help me out? And communicate with them. And what you'll find is that people, as you enhance their lives, they're going to be very grateful and return that favor and give you reviews. And when you get those reviews, that's when you can start doing things like integrating them into your page. This is actually an example of one of our clients where you can see they have reviews in here. You can see friction points being addressed. You have a video coming in. Down here, FAQs. And as Alex had noted, you have these different imageries and these Go here, get this, all the way layered throughout, building that trust, relating to the user, bringing the imagery together. You see, no obligation, no upfront cost. We're here to help. Up here at the top, you have, again, those 5 stars. So that is going to be huge for you. But there is a lot of opportunity. You said that you don't really do the website. So how does that work right now for you?
Well, I've got a friend of mine, he's been doing the website, and we've reviewed and changed it quite a lot over the last 2 years. But I did have a discussion with him, and I said to him, I don't think that we're driving enough traffic to at least be having conversations with people.
Yeah. And go ahead.
So this is my one-on-one coaching, and then we in the process of setting up the new business-to-business, which is Life Solutions. And that one definitely is going to be much more interactive and get people on board.
Let me look here. Koala. Let's see what you got going bacon on here. One thing. Okay, so you're using High Level. You got on Cloudflare. Let's see here. What are you using? PayPal. Okay, so you got your pixels in place. Open Graphic. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like this is where, so you don't really have any SEO currently being implemented on the website. And then, like I said, the blog, definitely pushing that up. You said you're really not getting any eyes on the business right now. I think that, initial keyword analysis and honing in, and then from there, I'd probably look at paid search, so that this way you can target your audience. Maybe social. Facebook might actually be the better start because of the intent. You can also run that with Google. And get people in here. Do you have Google? It doesn't look like you have Google Analytics. Well, you have higher learning, so you do. Analyzing those analytics, I would also install Google Analytics, which I didn't see, and make sure that we're tracking all of those conversions properly. Things that you can do right away. Your number one, rewrite that above the fold, for sure, and start looking at images. Okay.
So basically, here, what you showed me is what I do.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think this homework is going to be especially valuable to you. You have to communicate clearly in that 5 seconds or less. What do you do? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Hopefully that's helpful. Summer, would you like to share?
Yeah, I can share the link.
Yeah. There we go.
And just so you know, my purposes are more for the long-term rental side of it, but obviously with advice on the website.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. So we do have this Avis budget and auto rental. So what you do, 3 seconds or less. Midwestern Wheels, state 1958 budget. Let's see here. Buy from us. So inventory, long-term rental programs, daily rentals. Let's see what we got going on here. Buy cars from us, car sales. You have Avis coming in here. Learn more. Long-term, daily rentals, vehicle. Apply now. Okay. And then you rent by, so it looks like you got that down at the bottom. All right. Let's go ahead and look at an inside page, who we are. The page is running slow, on the slower side. Have you guys noticed that?
I do notice.
Okay. Yeah, it does run on the slower side. And that kind of calls into the friction piece. Go ahead and see inventory. then you're coming into here, and then you pop in. So for your inventory, are you using a third party?
Yes.
Well, who are you using?
I'm not sure for the car sales or the
Okay.
space.
And then you probably just have control to have that header piece right there, and then no footer, looks like. And then it's just a form that may potentially pop up. I see. So let me ask you a question. Okay, and that goes off to a different site as well. Did you have, when you did that 3 seconds or less, did you feel that you passed that test?
Kind of, probably.
Kind of? Okay. I think that the biggest thing in here for the 3 seconds or less is there's so much going on, I don't know what you want me to do. I have no idea what you want me to do at this point. What do you want me to do here?
Well, it really depends if we're looking at buyer or rent a car. If we're looking for renting a short name, offering the Western Hills and, anything like that. The daily should brings you to the exit budget information. Separate.
That was very hard to hear, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry about that.
Really try. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it really depends on what you're looking to do. I mean, we offer quite a bit, so there's a bit jumbled to aspect. When you buy, if you're looking to buy a vehicle, obviously that's all that range. For the AV rentals, that brings Avis in budget, and then long term, with them is going to be offering Midwestern Hills brands. But yeah, that is a little bit on the big side.
Okay. And then what about proof?
So if you go into the rental, like the long-term rental section, I will say that we have reviews, testimonies on.
Right here?
Yeah, long-term.
I don't see it. Oh, right
right
here. Okay, so you have to go in here in order to start getting reviews. Okay, and then you have this. Okay. All right. So then this again right here is a third party, I assume, integration?
The section with the cars down at the bottom is, but the rest.
From here down.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so that's an iframe happening right there, which you may want to do with everything. Not have any of those dead pages. All right, Alex, do you want to go ahead and hit the home page?
Absolutely. As you said, there's too much going on with this page. I mean, there's too much information and there's no padding. It definitely needs some spacing, padding between each section, right? So it doesn't look like everything is cluttered and, touched with everything. So, I mean, the information is there. You just need to clean it up more to make the journey smoother for the client, right? Of course, we can change some copy on it to be client specific and what they do, not just what they do, what happens when a client is using their services or their products. So we can surely work on this. The hero section, as I said, the video is good, but needs more information on it. Or they might have used this video section and these 3 boxes underneath it as one hero section. So they have combined both sections, maybe, I'm not sure. But a hero section should be one alone section by itself, having some specific information, as mentioned.
I would also
So yes, this side can be more cleaned up.
I was gonna say, and also just as a side note, I would even, have you ever engaged in any type of testing, A/B testing, multivariate testing, anything along those lines?
We've talked about it though.
Okay. I'd really test flipping these two on the text right here and see what that does, just because you have this piece right here and then you have the enjoy a best-in-class experience. So there's a lot of studies that'll go out and will say that 1, 2, 3, you want to have like that thing that says, this is what we do. That is the very first thing that you see. And then the other is more of a subtext. So that may be something I would want to test. There's a lot of free ones out there. If you'd like to connect, I can definitely walk you through some of that as well. But yeah, no, and then, reviews. I'm not really seeing reviews should be on the homepage, so that this way you have that validation. I think that you are losing a certain level of trust. Alex, correct me if you see it otherwise, but I think that the iframes and the embedded forms work, but on those pieces where you just go off and you have that really thin navigation, and then it's all just a dropped iframe form. I think you lose a little bit of validity in that because it almost feels like you're going to a completely different site. So I feel that by integrating and doing a better job with that integration is going to help you out. And then this section right here, just really figuring out, you have these down here, but I really want to look at how to work on this area so it does a better job and has a clear pathway to that next step. Yeah, I like the locality on the top. You have a lot of work that can be done down here for sure. How did you guys do? Or you're invested in SEO, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, you got these right here. How did you guys do with the latest AI integration algorithm update? Happy Easter present.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I know we have a big kind of talked about SEO a little bit, and creating enterprise pages for each of our locations to post it in certain areas. Good SEO is some of this, but some of them are lacking in that visibility.
Okay. You may want to check into that. There's been a lot of it's affected the community, but it doesn't really you don't really have a lot going on in this section, but there's a ton of opportunity for you there. The homepage, I would almost recommend, so I had mentioned that we do have that offering of the best in class, and this is for both of you guys. It may actually be valuable. I'll log in real quick and show you. Let's see if I can't find an example. Give me a second here of what that looks like. But it's something that I designed myself a while ago. It goes through the persona development initially, and then it takes best in class, 3 national level best in class companies who are doing it right, goes through the conversion story, hits all of the pain points of each of the different personas. We do up to 3. So in yours, it would be one for, each of the different areas of your business. And for Rick, we would hone in to looking at your targeted audiences, maybe it's age group or something along those lines. And then from there, we pinpoint those friction points, and we do a complete design concept of a wireframe of what that conversion story looks like, rewrite your content as recommendations, and implement the design, and then go from there. So that is something that you may want to take a look at. But yeah, I think the biggest in here is it's too busy. White space is your friend in your messaging throughout the entire thing, and really need to work on guiding the end user to the next phase of their journey on your website. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. Let me see here. So let me go in here and I wanted to just kind of, start here. So we've gone through these pieces right here. If either of you guys would like any additional insight, I can definitely go ahead and set up a 101. And we can go through that and, just have the team and we can go more in depth. And if you think that my geekiness is super cool and you want to learn more about what it is that I'm, deriving all of these from, these are a few of my favorite reads. So Don't Make Me Think. The Steve Krug, he actually is the one who really got me into this. It's a wonderful book. Yeah, Don't Make Me Think, because that's exactly what your website should do. It should provide the right information at the right time and not make you think. And then Occam's Razor, in this one right here, he is the original Google Analytics godfather. And I've been studying him for a long time, and he actually has a free newsletter that talks about converting point and marketing tips. Highly recommend that. And then, of course, if you're like looking at investing some serious time, digital, psychological, and persuasion, and then conversion optimization. Those are many courses that will really get you in there. Otherwise, the easy route, you can always work with a professional like us, and we can do all the heavy lifting and guide you guys in making the right decisions. So, okay. And then with that, I want to say thank you guys very much. And then this is our first workshop as a team. How do we do? Did you guys learn anything new?
Yeah, that was really helpful. Thank you so much.
You mute, Jessica.
See your mute.
I did it. I did it. If would anybody like to go ahead and send a text or anything, let me know if anybody would like to have a separate meeting to review their website in more depth. So, okay.
Yeah, I think I would.
You would? Okay.
Yeah, but I would need to do it in conjunction with my web designer.
Okay, absolutely. Let's
So
go
the
ahead.
Perhaps you can just reach out to me. I'll put my email here.
Yes, absolutely.
Then I can try and
Perfect.
coordinate that we can all be on the same call at the same time.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, thank you again. I truly appreciate your time, and I hope you guys were able to take something home with you to move forward. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you.
You
Have a
too.
good one.
You too.
Have a good one.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.